Previously on the Alpari World Match Racing Tour. Welcome to the climax of the Alpari World Match Racing Tour 2012, the Monsoon Cup. The season finale takes us to Pulau Diung in Kuala Terengganu, a state on the east coast of Malaysia. Visitors that come here are wowed by the island's beautiful mosques and palaces that stand majestically against the skyline. The state is also rich in tradition, as apparent by the wealth of colourful dances, traditional markets and eclectic cuisine on offer. For the sailors, however, this event offers volatile, stormy conditions worthy of only the world's very best. This is the Monsoon Cup, where champions are made. This is the 8th and final event on the series, and it's here in Kuala Terengganu, Malaysia, that this year's match racing world champion is decided. There's a very healthy prize purse on offer too. 310,000 Malaysian ringgit is up for grabs for the Monsoon Cup event winner, and a whopping $75,000 is awarded to the Alpari World Match Racing Tour champion. Ahead of racing, it's the 3 teams at the top of the Tour leaderboard that have the strongest chance of taking the title. You can't ignore the likes of 4-time World Champion Peter Gilmour, but these 3 are certainly worth watching.
The tour really has been between Björn and us, GAC Pindar, right from the start this year.
There's certainly some pressure on those 2 guys coming into this event.
This is where it all counts. This is, you know, whoever wins out of the 2 of us will win the Alpari World Match Racing Tour.
We're going to need to sail at our top level to beat Ian, that's for sure.
We're just going to go out and give it our best shot, and hopefully we can finish ahead of him.
He's a tough guy, but we feel we're very strong, and we're going to give him a hard time here in Malaysia, that's for sure.
Björn's been a little inconsistent this year. He's had some great results, obviously in Korea and Sweden, but he hasn't made that many semi-finals.
It feels like he's a little bit nervous when he sails us, but it's a new regatta and you never know.
We've been watching him closely all year. I'm sure he's been watching us closely as well.
I don't think there's necessarily any chinks in their armour, but I think everyone is certainly very beatable.
We're just going to stick with our game. We've been consistently in the top 3, and if we can get through to the semi-finals, then I think we've got a good shot.
We're definitely going to do it.
To win the Alpari World Match Racing Tour is really about good preparation.
You have to be a team leader for sure.
Good skill level in your team.
Good teamwork.
Perform at the top level.
Good sailing across all the events.
Learn how the boats are moving towards each other. What will happen when the wind pressures from one side and you have waves and current maybe from the other side.
Mental toughness of being able to come back when you're down a bit.
And then performing when it counts, so coming here and getting the job done.
After 2 days of qualifying, the Tour's 2 leading skippers were poles apart. Hansen wasn't looking as strong as he'd like on 3 wins and 3 losses, but Williams was blazing ahead unbeaten, winning all 5 of his races. But at the start of the 3rd day, all eyes were on a different pair of skippers. For the first time ever, match racing world great Peter Gilmour would be racing against his son, David Gilmour.
Yeah, obviously we're racing my father, who's big match racing, been match racing for a long time, and this is our first event, and it will be our first real race against him.
Yeah, David and I have never competed head-to-head in any race against each other previously. We've done a fair bit of practice and sailed together a few times. No, it won't be easy to treat him like any other opponent. It'll be, you realise your own flesh and blood's out there racing against you, and so it'll probably have a little bit of a difference.
I don't think we will do anything different than what we normally do. We have to sail as we do, otherwise it'll, I guess, won't be our best performance.
One of the things that a youngster would always like to do would be to prove that he's better than his father, so we're going to try and put a stop to that. I mean, we do talk a lot around the dining room table about, but that's more sort of holistic talk in terms of the way you need to approach the game, and rather than technique and positioning and that sort of thing. So he's gone about it, and it's just his love for the sport that's really brought him to this stage.
I think that, yeah, he's very good, but maybe getting a little bit old. He tends to crash into a lot of people, as everyone knows, so that sometimes seems to be his undoing.
We'll see you out there.
Smoke the halyard. Drop. Drop.
1 minute 37 opens up on the clock.
Yeah.
And it is showtime.
Weight down if we can, Pete.
His father and son. Family. In this case, bitter rivals, I suppose, in this battle of the Monsoon Cup.
1 minute 10.
Peter Gilmour swoops across the bow.
We've got to build speed here, guys.
of David. We have a policy here on the Alpari World Match Racing Tour of trying to use the surnames of the skippers. In this instance, it really doesn't seem to be working out for me. I think I'm gonna have to stick with Peter and David.
Okay, it's gonna be a split tack start, Pete.
43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34.
Still quite a lot of time to burn here. And I'm sure that Gilmour Jr. is going to be pushing.
Oi! Oi! He's tacked!
I could almost hear Peter's voice in the sound of David there. It's the worst I've ever seen.
Coming back out on starboard, guys.
Now Peter Gilmour really is in a little bit of trouble here. 14 seconds to go, and probably only 7 seconds from the pin. He is above the line as we speak.
Oi, come on, up,
David
up!
Gilmour
Come on!
is to leeward. We can see both boats rocking furiously. Peter Gilmour is going to try and roll across the bow of his son.
Both boats are over.
Yeah. Bearing away onto us the whole time there. Gotta be a
Now,
red.
can Peter Gilmour get around the bow of his son?
Jive,
That is the
jive.
question. That's what he's looking for. He's looking for the jive. Can he get it in? David Gilmour is on starboard. He is. Peter Gilmour is to keep clear boats.
Keep it clear! Come and touch us! Come on! Just dive in front of us!
As Peter Gilmour slides across the bow of his son, there's white flags galore. The umpers are looking on. They don't know which Gilmour to penalise. And there's a green flag.
And back down.
I think they're going to leave the family to it as David Gilmour rocks and twists and tries to get his boat back up to speed. But it is Peter Gilmour Sr. that is powering away from the line.
David kept the racing close, but Peter maintained his lead all the way to the finish.
Well done, guys.
It is Peter Gilmour from YANMAR Racing. Daddy has come home and closed off the match.
I think the pre-start was pretty close. I thought for a moment there David was shouting at his father, which that won't go down too well back at home. But oh, look, it was either way, if we won the race or we lost the race, we weren't going to win. So I'm so proud that they're out here racing, and I think it's great for the sport of match racing.
Yeah, racing. My dad was pretty unique experience. It was the first time, in proper match racing conditions in a regatta. It was a pretty close race for the first half. We thought he maybe should have got a penalty in that pre-start with a port starboard, but obviously it wasn't to be, and he just managed to get a little bit more out the right on the first upwind and cross us into the top mark, and from there he was off.
Father takes victory over son, but work for the Gilmours was far from over as the qualifying stage continued. Join us for part 2 to see who makes it through to the quarterfinals and who makes a groundbreaking revelation.
It's volatile out there. Conditions can change in an instant. You've got to stay in control, spot the opportunity, then make your move. It's all about execution. Search Alpari Race and get on board. Alpari, your global Forex broker.
Forex is high risk and not suitable for all investors. Losses may exceed deposits.
Welcome back to the finale of the Alpari World Match Racing Tour, the Monsoon Cup. Naturally, this event is the setting for breaking news. However, the event was only into its qualifying stages when the first big headline hit the press office. Record 4-time ISAF match racing world champion and multiple America's Cup campaigner Peter Gilmour announced his retirement. He'd be leaving the Alpari World Match Racing Tour for good and hanging up his gloves on the professional match racing circuit. It was, of course, a tough decision.
Well, the main reasons why I've decided to retire is obviously I'm not getting any younger. Next month I'll be 53. And it just seemed to be a good time to step aside from the Alpari World Match Racing Tour at this stage and not to go for a tour card for the 2013 season. I think it certainly is an age factor that influences the fact that you don't win as many events as we used to, but also I think it's a sign of the times where the younger sailors are starting a lot younger than than we did. I mean, I didn't start match racing until I was 27, 28 years old, and now they're starting 18, 19, you know, and talented by winning world championships by 23, 24, I think, was Adam Minoprio. And so from that point of view, the game has certainly changed quite dramatically, and, you know, I've been hanging on by my fingernails for the last little while, and, you know, it really just seemed an appropriate time to sort of step aside from that now. I think on the World Match Racing Tour, the big memories, there's a few of them. The fun of just starting and beginning, I still remember it like yesterday. I mean, it really meant a lot. I'll still be around, you know, you won't be able to get rid of me that easy, but yeah, look, I'll be around, but I think I'll take a break for, you know, at least for 6 months or so, just to, you know, might go off and do a little bit of farming in the interim time. I've got a few cattle that need me to chase after them.
Before Gilmour can step down, he has a podium finish and a world title to fight for. When he came up against Ian Williams, the skipper chasing his 4-time World Championship record, there was sure to be fireworks.
Ready to come down? Coming down. Tack, 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 tack.
Now Gilmour and Williams, as Williams swaps around the committee boat.
Hard tack, hard tack.
1 minute to go, inches separate.
Cut.
Tacking now. Cut. Cut. It's caught. Come on.
Jibing.
Williams seems
Tacking
flustered.
back, guys.
Yeah, it looks like he got the gypsy caught there, either a turn or he was wrapped around something.
Tacking here.
Gilmour seems to have seized the advantage. I'm not sure where Williams is going to go from here. Only 30 seconds to go. Gilmour has the advantage. He's turning down. He needs to be able to duck here. Gilmour's going to come up into the love. We're going to have these boats very close yet again. Whoa! As the boats slide past each other, only inches separating these two match racing giants.
Yeah, it's a yellow.
You've got to be kidding!
Williams there.
Fantastic response from Williams there. Oh,
there's the gun. Peter Gilmour is over the line. We can see the blue flag, so Williams slides past the line. Ian has a penalty. Gilmour is over, and the boats continue to dance in circles. The start gun has sounded, but the battle continues. An unforced error there from Peter Gilmour. He did not need to be over there. He just got his time and distance wrong.
Not yet, not
so
all the
here
jib
comes
yet.
Williams.
No.
He looks to have enough distance to me as he comes down
here.
towards the pin. YANMAR Racing needs to pick up a bit of extra speed.
Should be all right anyway. I'm going to do this around the pin, yeah.
He's going to go around the pin. You can hear him there. I think he must have changed his plan. He was talking about going the other way and rehoisting the spinnaker.
Worries,
so change of plan looks like a pretty easy penalty take here.
Big back, yeah, back, hold.
That jibe off from YANMAR Racing, I think actually costing them distance. Those extra turns,
nice job, guys.
Very costly in this light.
The day's racing saw our first tour card holder out of the competition before the quarter-finals. For Johnny Bernson, all hopes of an event win and a world title were lost.
Yeah, this has been a really bad event for us. We only got 2 wins and we're knocked out. We expected a lot more since we were second here last year. Yeah, we're quite disappointed with a lot of things, so we need to go back home and see if we can repair it and come back next year.
It was down to the last day of qualifying to see who would make it through to the quarter-finals. The racing was tense for Laurie Jury, who needed to win his remaining 2 races to stay in the game. You could sense the pressure as he faced David Gilmour. We joined them in the pre-start. Gilmour already a penalty down.
Stop it! Stop it, guys! Stop it! Come on! Come on! It's a pot! Stop it! Come on! Come on! Look at it! Look at it! Oh my God! Driver, slow that!
Big push off and jury. That's a nice move if ever I've seen one. Sure, Craig Mitchell, tour director, would be interested in that slightly scrupulous behaviour.
And down. It's another one, come on!
And there's a penalty. What are we going to see here? So it's a yellow-red flag. I can hear David Gilmour from here, taking after his father.
It's a double! Look at it! Continuous red, come on! What's the start line? Under the start line. Starboard, guys, starboard!
They're still controlling.
He's been on starboard for ages! Oh, he's getting down a bit!
Certainly you're yelling. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what the incident is. I think Laurie Jury taking that penalty.
Another one, come on! He's finished his penalty in front! 2-1, press. And down.
Well, I think the conditions are so light down there that what happened is that they finished the penalty up, as you heard David say, there in front after doing it, and that it quite often, when you lose focus like they clearly have right now, you forget to continue sailing the boat. You've still got to sail the boat fast, and a red flag penalty is only a penalty to be done immediately.
What? Are you serious?
I think he's getting close to really starting to annoy the umpires.
Well, he does appear to have had another penalty. I don't know if that's a volume-related penalty or if that was a result of the incident.
Despite a fiery start, the wind dropped and the race had to be abandoned. Jury lost his next race against Phil Robertson, and with it, his chances of a quarter-final place.
To lose a race like that, you know, it's just been a little bit disappointing regatta for us, you know. It's, way too many mistakes, and then the ones that we have done well, it's just we've had some bad shifts and lost them anyway, so it's been a tough regatta.
By the end of qualifying, the results made for a cracking quarter-final lineup. The Gilmours top and tail the leaderboard, and sandwiched between them on 7 wins each are the 2 tour leaders, Ian Williams and Björn Hansen. Either one of them could get knocked out, so it's all eyes on the quarters to see if we have a world champion crowned.
It's volatile out there. Conditions can change in an instant. You've got to stay in control, spot the opportunity, then make your move. It's all about execution. Search Alpari Race and get on board. Alpari, your global Forex broker. Forex is high risk and not suitable for all investors. Losses may exceed deposits.
Welcome back to the finale of the Alpari World Match Racing Tour, the Monsoon Cup, and the event that sees a new world champion crowned. But that could happen earlier than expected. All eyes were on the boat draw as our quarter-finalists selected their opponents. As many had expected, top qualifier Peter Gilmour selected his son for one last blood battle.
We'll be racing him again to have a bit of redemption on the last race where we lost to him. And I think that the way we've been sailing over the last half of the round robin, we have the ability to beat him.
I chose David because I've had 21 years of, I guess, experience of looking at him and his sailing and all of that sort of activity. And his memories probably only last week of racing here at the Monsoon Cup of my sailing. So I think I've got a fair old advantage there.
David Gilmour managed to score the first win of the quarters. We joined them in the pre-start of their next match.
Now, has David Gilmour held his course for long enough? Peter Gilmour's helm is over, there's the swerve down. And I actually think that it could be a risk. There must be a green. Now here's the luff from David again. Really throwing the kitchen sink at his father. Now there's the penalty on his son. He's certainly got some fight and fire to him, young Gilmour. But it hasn't worked out for him there, luffing too hard. Now he has left his father absolutely standing in the pre-start. Now can Peter Gilmour get out of irons? He's absolutely parked. It's a complete disaster. Peter Gilmour is in all sorts of trouble, luffed by his son, albeit a little aggressively, but he has lost control of his boat and he is absolutely stationary. The boat is going sideways. It is a complete horror show for Gilmour Senior. How is he going to get out of this? They are still stopped in the pre-start. Peter Gilmour has somehow managed to slide past his son. He must have been 1,000 miles behind after the start. He sat there for ages, head to wind, don't forget, in that pre-start. So Peter Gilmour here, able to level the series at 1-1.
The match racing master kept his son in his place and won the next 2 races, advancing him through to the semi-finals. Björn Hansen was next to pick a quarter-final opponent. A Hansen versus Williams matchup would see the World Championship title decided, but would he be brave enough?
Björn Hansen, who are you taking with you to the quarterfinals of Monsoon Cup of 2012?
Well, we decided that we wanted to go a match for the world title, so we were racing Williams. If we don't choose Ian and lose the quarterfinal and lose the chance for a world championship title on that, we will never forgive ourselves. So we said that we should just go for Ian and at least give it a real title fight.
The winner between Björn Hansen and our team, GAC Pindar, will take home the world title, so it's obviously a huge matchup for us.
We're looking forward to this so much. I mean, we have a really good chance to become the world champions.
This was undoubtedly the main story of the quarters. By the 4th race, it was match point for Williams, who was 2-1 up.
First blood to Williams.
We join them in the pre-start of what could potentially be the world title decider.
Absolutely everything is at stake here. Has Williams got enough space to tack? It looks like he does. He rolls up and through. Obviously wanted that right-hand side. There's the gun, both boats clear. Hansen will be faster at start time.
For me though, the pressure's on the left. I can see the pressure rolling down. It's just looking really pretty good there on the left, and you can still see out the window here. It's pretty looking patchy that out there. There's a big red mooring buoy out in the middle of the basin, and that's pretty patchy around it. So Hansen's powered up here, heading towards the left. I think he's looking a lot more, looking a lot better for me.
We'll of course find out for sure when the boats come back together. To say I've sailed with Ian for 5 to 6 years and won my 2 World Match Racing Tour titles as part of that team. It would be amazing to see this final contested go to best of 3. As he exit the tack, Williams' angle actually looks quite good out that right-hand side. So here we go, it's showtime. Williams with a small dial. Coasts up and crosses the bow of Björn Hansen. He takes the left-hand side now. I think that perhaps an observation, the same as you were saying, Craig, that Brit does look good on the left, and as Björn Hansen tacks, Williams matches. I think we're going to see him, Williams, go for a luff here. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, Hansen had better be ready, because Williams doesn't have to only got to give him room on the other mark.
He's coming up for the luff. We see Williams jump.
Hey! Okay, come on. Okay.
Williams has a much messier turn. It looks like he's going around the same mark as Ian. That is a turnout for the books. He gives Ian the inside line.
he's
but
got to
he
give.
is so much faster.
See if he can get right around the outside of him.
Björn Hansen has to luff. The bows are absolutely even between these boats. Hansen will luff Williams here and try and force him through the tack. And there he goes. Williams is tacking off to that right-hand side. As Ian Williams makes that final jibe, he is coming back towards the line. But it is Ian Williams of GAC Pindar who approaches the line. They punch the air as they turn down through the wind. Come on! High fives all round. It's a celebratory moment for Ian Williams and GAC Pindar. They are the world champions.
Oh, it's absolutely incredible to match Peter Gilmour on 4 world titles. Is, you know, it's indescribable, and you know, he's such a legend in the sport. To match him is great, and I really feel that we can now push on and maybe win some more.
We didn't really sail at the top of our skill, so we're very disappointed about that, obviously, and not for winning.
Well, it's been a great season for us. We've now made 6 semi-finals out of 7 regattas. All of those 6, we've made the top 3 so far, so we've got 1 more to go, and of course we'd like to win the Monsoon Cup.
So we just have to go back home and regroup, have a couple of weeks in the ski slopes, think about what we can do better next year, and come back and try to take the trophy next year instead.
We have a new Alpari World Match Racing Tour champion, but there's still the Monsoon Cup to race for. Keith Swinton faced Taylor Canfield, and Phil Robertson came up against Pierre-Antoine Morvan for their quarter-finals. Taylor Canfield proved dominant in his quarter-final, beating Keith Swinton 3-1. Phil Robertson fought for a full 5 matches against Pierre-Antoine Morvan and came out victorious 3-2. So, after a day of tricky conditions and tight racing, we had our semi-finalists: Peter Gilmour, Ian Williams, Taylor Canfield and Phil Robertson.
It's volatile out there. Conditions can change in an instant. You've got to stay in control, spot the opportunity, then make your move. It's all about execution. Search Alpari Race and get on board. Alpari, your global Forex broker.
Forex is high risk and not suitable for all investors. Losses may exceed deposits.
The last day of the Monsoon Cup played host to many spectators as the semi-finals got underway. Peter Gilmour was first to race and he chose Taylor Canfield. It was first to 2 points and Canfield beat the seasoned Australian, taking it to match point. We joined them for their pre-start.
There goes Peter Gilmour jibing into the front of Taylor Canfield. He's going to take the lead. See, deciding that he feels he can burn the time down towards the pin. He turns up hard, he needs to S right the way down to the ley line. See, that not really deep enough from Peter Gilmour. If he's not careful, he'll just sail straight back towards the line, and then he will be early. So not particularly effective wasting of time from the 4-time world champion as Taylor Canfield hounds him in towards the start. Now he has tacked round, and Taylor Canfield tacks underneath, continuing to hound Peter Gilmour back towards the line. Now where is Peter Gilmour going to go here? 22 seconds to go. He is early for that boat hand end. Taylor Canfield calling, don't tack there. Completes down underneath now. Has Canfield got the time? Has he got the speed to hold Peter Gilmour over the line? This is the moment he's going to go for the luff. Now will Peter Gilmour be over the line? This will be a great result for Taylor Canfield. The other option is he's able to inflict a penalty. There's the gun, and that's the result that Canfield was looking for. If we look to the bow of the committee boat, we can see Principal Race Officer David Talliser holding the blue flag aloft. That's signifying that Peter Gilmour is over the line. And a penalty. We can see there on the umpire boat behind the 2. There's a flag flying and it's blue. So not only does Peter Gilmour have to come back and recross the line, but he also has to do a penalty. Peter Gilmour and Taylor Canfield were trading blows. We saw Taylor Canfield essentially clean out Peter Gilmour in the pre-start, and that is how The situation has stayed for now. Taylor Canfield coming down the run nicely ahead. It is Taylor Canfield, the young American, that has utterly dispatched, signed, sealed and delivered Dato Peter Gilmour out of this semi-final. And he comes through to be our first finalist to claim his place in that match that will decide the Monsoon Cup.
Canfield kept his lead despite some small gains from Gilmour, securing a second win. Not the ideal swan song for Peter Gilmour, as his chances of a win here at the Monsoon Cup are over.
Well, I guess so. It is what it is. You know, what gets served up at the end is you can't do any better than you know, your best out there, and I think that's what we certainly tried to do. It hasn't been a great year, but I guess that's part of the reason why I'm not going on, is that if you can't win anymore at the top level, it you know, it really needs to, you need to move on. I think in terms of my sailing career, it's you know, I've had a great time at match racing, America's Cup and all that sort of stuff, and I'm sure I'll be back around doing something, maybe more in an executive role or something else. So yeah, it's been a great time.
The other semi-final saw Ian Williams racing Phil Robertson. Like Canfield, underdog Robertson drew first blood and took it to what could be a decisive second race. We joined them in the pre-start.
1:06 to go as Robertson comes around the bottom. Now will Williams be able to complete his jibe onto starboard? That's what he's going to look to do as Robertson heads up. Williams' giveaway boat here.
Closing the gap. Tacking boat. Tacking boat. Oh, not tacking there.
Had a big luff from Robertson. Williams turned down into it. He was looking to try and get the jibe in. The boats are going to come together.
I've got nowhere to go here. Hey, he's still coming down.
Now with 40 seconds to go, Williams is at massive risk here of incurring a penalty. There's the penalty. And that is a penalty on Williams. So,
got my helm locked here, guys. Wait, down. 2, 1, and up.
we see both these matches. The Giants have fallen and Williams starting behind and in the gas, just looking straight up the exhaust pipe of Robertson.
Winding up, just watching the dummy here. Coming tacking, can I tack? Okay, rolling here. Back on starboard. 3, 2.
Small dummy from Williams, managing to force Robertson to tack away.
1, and up.
Now, Williams in a whole world of bother. He's a penalty down and he is already 5 or 6 lengths behind.
Back to 100 now,
Did look to be a little faster. And here we can see, almost bow to bow, these two boats. Now, Robertson has the right of way. He's going to be able to tack into that lee bow position.
Got to tack away, haven't we?
We see him rolling through and in.
The lift's just come. Okay, tacking.
Williams rolls back away. That last chance saloon move off to the left-hand side has paid off for Williams at this point.
I want to come back thin here,
back
guys.
in this race. Remember, he's still a penalty down.
Got more pressure than him. Probably not
I'm sure Williams hoping to just try and stay tight. Get into a position to attack on the run. That's the final jibe. Robertson's bow is pointing down towards the line. I can see the smiles just beginning to break on Garth, the tactician on board with Phil Robertson. Couldn't be a nicer man on this Alpari World Match Racing Tour.
Yes,
there are
boys.
grins here in the studios. As Robertson comes through, he takes the win. He has a date with destiny with Taylor Canfield in the final of the Monsoon Cup.
So the two heavyweights of the semi-finals were knocked out by their greener opponents. It was left to the young guns to fight it out in the final. The pair gave us a thriller of a first race, with the pivotal moments taking place on the approach to the finish line. Canfield was a penalty down as we joined them for the end of their race.
So Canfield, he's in the lead, but he does have that penalty.
So Canfield's going to be trying to get into the slow bike race, and Robertson's just going to be trying to avoid.
Driving and almost ready to drop here, okay?
So Robertson looking to just sail past clear and clean, whereas Taylor Canfield
already inside two.
Is looking to try and hook Phil Robertson up and force him through a luff. But he's running out of room. Taylor Canfield's turning up towards the line, and I think he's inevitably going to open up the gap to Robertson. He didn't quite have the experience to manage that situation, and Robertson, I think he's going to be able to slide down the inside of Canfield here.
Well, Canfield, Robertson here doesn't have any room on the inside there, so Robertson's got to be very careful where he puts his nose.
Canfield is definitely attacking boat now, so for me, Robertson has got room. Now, could this be an absolute masterclass? Canfield is coming through the wind. Can he get his bow down inside the stern? No, he can't. There's the contact.
No, it's looking like Canfield hasn't completed his penalty, and he's also a windward boat.
So that is a bad day for Taylor Canfield. That was almost master. But ultimately, there's another penalty, and Taylor Canfield.
But here,
You can't back it hard enough. Don't go in there! Don't go in there!
Taylor Canfield saying he can't go in, but Taylor Canfield has tacked within 2 lengths.
Has tacked within 2 lengths, and he was the outside boat, so I think he's got to give Robertson room.
You can't go in there!
That is definitely true. Now, whether the umpires are onto it, we'll see. Let's see what the flags do.
That's a red flag. Overlap. A double. That's a double.
Ooh.
Oh, and here comes a blue
and it's a red. Can you believe it?
Come on! Come on!
I mean, I feel a little bit like an armchair sailor here. There we go. It's a yellow. It's a yellow-red penalty. It's just a wash of penalties out here. I have never seen a finish like this in all my years of match racing.
One penalty done.
As Phil Robertson loops through the wind, there are still a lot of penalties outstanding. I think Robertson's going for another. Taylor Canfield's completing his. There's now only 2 flags up, and I think if Robertson can turn down and go through the wind, he will win this match. The penalties are now off, and they're heading back towards the line. It is going to be neck and neck between the two. But it is Taylor Canfield ultimately that wins that match. I have never seen a match like that, and what an opening to this Monsoon Cup final.
Canfield took the first win, but Robertson levelled the scores. It came down to a 5th race to decide the winner of the Monsoon Cup. We joined the teams in the pre-start.
This is the Monsoon Cup now. Taylor Canfield has to loop around here in this final 19 seconds. He doesn't need to rush, he needs to focus on this turn, get it in. He will win the right-hand side. Phil Robertson will be starting on the left. Here comes Canfield. Now Robertson tacking back. How this is unexpected. Canfield has his bow down.
Come on! Come on! Come on!
That's the start gun sounds. Robertson ducking his stern.
Trim. Come on! That's all blue there.
Now are we going to see an umpire call? There's the green flag.
And up. Big hike.
So the umpire's deciding no mistake. Canfield doing a nice job of making it so Robertson wouldn't lay the boat. That's why we saw him dial there, and we saw Robertson then responding and having to tack out the boat end. And now it is Taylor Canfield leading off to this left-hand side. And this is Taylor Canfield. His bow is pointing at the finish line. Nothing can stop him from here. You can hear them starting to celebrate. They punch the air. This is a dream come true. It is Taylor Canfield claiming the Monsoon Cup. Slip of the tongue, but it makes no difference. It will be Canfield's name on the trophy as he sails through the line to claim the biggest win of his career.
The Monsoon Cup has a new champion in Taylor Canfield. His win here will be a huge help in his bid for a tour card in 2013.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a shock, but you know, we were sailing well the whole event, so to be honest with you, it doesn't really come to that much of a shock that we're able to kind of make it all the way to the finals and then finally, you know, win the Monsoon Cup. So we're really ecstatic about it. Moving forward, I'd like to be a part of the 2013 World Match Racing Tour. It's kind of been a dream of mine for who knows how many years, and I got a great team to back me, so hopefully we'll be able to make it all the way through. And again, that's Rod Dawson, Hayden Goodrick, Mike Ray, and Dan Morris.
After a valiant battle in the final, Phil Robertson came in second. The Petty final saw Ian Williams take 3rd place, leaving Peter Gilmour just shy of a podium position as he finishes his last Monsoon Cup event in 4th. Ian Williams managed to defend his world title, equalling Peter Gilmour's 4-time World Championship record, whilst Björn Hansen finished in 2nd place for Sweden. Phil Robertson claims 3rd position on the Alpari World Match Racing Tour, and Australia's Keith Swinton scoops 4th. Peter Gilmour's final tour season sees him finish in 5th place overall. Join us next year as we welcome a lineup of teams both old and new to take each other on for the Alpari World Match Racing Tour Championship title.